Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have another episode for you guys, which I'm just going to go off in this video. But before we get into it, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And then let's just go ahead and get into this topic here. So, listen, you all know that I was one of the people initially early in the season, before when the Lakers were thinking about acquiring Russell Westbrook. I was one of the people that was against them making that move. I wasn't the only one, but I was amongst some of the people that thought getting him would be a bad idea. I never believed that Russell Westbrook was going to be a good fit for the Lakers. But for whatever reason, a lot of people thought he would. And enough people thought he would be good enough. That's why the Lakers ended up acquiring him in the first place. So a lot of people in the executive position, maybe LeBron, GM, the owner of the team, whatever, they thought that, listen, this guy would be a good acquisition. He's a big name star. So they went out there and acquired Russell Westbrook, right? Against all conventional wisdom, they went and got him for whatever reason. And thus far, the experiment with him has not worked. This season, so far for this season, I believe that Russell Westbrook has been a disaster for the Lakers. Truly, I mean that. I believe he's been a disaster, and I think what's happening is we have too many apologists out there that are trying to make concessions for this guy and say, oh, no, it's not Russell Westbrook. It's a team. Listen, the Lakers have their issues, and Russell Westbrook is one of their biggest issues. I personally believe if you traded him away and got somebody else or one or two other complementary pieces, the Lakers would be in a much better position, if you're asking me my honest opinion. Now, obviously, it's going to be very difficult to trade a player with a $40 million contract that is a turnover machine, that has the type of attitude that he has, and especially at his age, it's going to be very hard to trade him. But nevertheless, they thought for whatever reason it'll be good enough to get him. And for me, I just think that this guy is turning into one of the most annoying people in sports to cover. He's up there. I mean, like if you listen to Russell Westbrook kind of explain his decisions and things that he does, he's really annoying to listen to. And just when I thought that it couldn't get any worse. I mean, just when you think that it couldn't get worse, it did. It did. Yesterday, I'm sitting there on my phone, scrolling through Instagram, and an image comes on my feed, and I think it was from NBA or SportsCenter, ESPN, one of these places, and they showed some Russell Westbrook quotes. So I read the quotes, and I'm like, no, what? So I had to go look for the video. So I hunted down the video and actually listened to Russell Westbrook basically explaining why he's been so much of a disaster for the Lakers. And I actually could not believe what Russell Westbrook was saying after having a game in which he had 9 turnovers. Think about this. 9 turnovers and shot 0% from the three. This guy stepped to the lectern and started to explain his style of basketball. So before we go too far, I want you guys to take a listen to some of the stuff this Joker had to say, explaining why he's been playing the way that he's playing, or basically explaining why he played so poorly, or in his mind, how he played basketball. So before we go too far, take a listen to some of this nonsense, this hot garbage that this dude was spitting. Take a listen to what he had to say, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back and give you guys our thoughts.
Russ, when you have turnovers like you had in the first half, what's sort of the adjustment after halftime or late in the game to kind of find that pace? Is it about pace? Is it about reads? What stands out about the adjustments?
Just make the easy reads.
Russ, the late jumper that you hit in a crucial moment of the game and you let out kind of like a roar, what did that do for you? I mean, obviously the numbers suggest that you weren't playing your best up to that moment, and how does it feel for you to be able to contribute in a big moment when the rest of the game wasn't necessarily going your way?
I disagree.
You disagree
with the part of the game wasn't going my way. My game, it's fine. My game is not predicated on shots or if I turn the ball over. Like, if I miss some shots, that's part of the game. I'm allowed to miss shots. I can do that. Like any other player, I can do that. I can turn the ball over too. I can do that. That's all a part of the game. But when you watch a basketball game and figure out what impact, making the right plays, boxing out, rebounding, whatever that may be, making the right play, making the right reads. That's all about being a basketball player. And that shot, just a shot I work on every day. It didn't really do nothing for me, just that it's been there all night and I should have been taking it.
I just don't understand. Like, somebody help me out. Please help me out. Please help me understand what we just finished listening to. Somebody make this nonsense make sense to me, please. Somebody please make it, help me understand what Russell Westbrook was talking about. Like, seriously, if you saw his face, forget how long you guys just listened to the audio. If you saw his face, it's like he was disgusted, not of his game. He was disgusted at the idea that people would have the gall to ask him why he played so terribly. He was so defiant and dismissive. It was as if they had no right asking him that. That's why he chuckled. He's like, like he took offense to what the reporter was asking him. He took offense to it. What NBA player do you know that is okay with having a 9-turnover game? Seriously. What NBA player? Name the player. Who's the player that is okay with having a game like that? And this is the reason why you cannot win with Russell Westbrook. Not only is he unaware of his terrible basketball play, he seems to be totally he shows no remorse, no contrition. It's like he's not even bothered by it. And my question is, what are his teammates telling him? What are his teammates telling him? Because this is what happens when you have friends that refuse to tell you the truth. A lot of people don't like some of the things that we see on this channel. Some people went into an entire fit because I thought that, DeMar DeRozan is not that dude. Some people went into a fit. How can you say that? He has the right to fail. He's been bad in the past. It's like, bro, I'm telling you what I know. I'm not telling you what I think. What I was saying about DeMar DeRozan, I was speaking of events that took place in the past, not events that I made up, events that actually happened. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you and tell you, oh yeah, you have Kevin Durant on your team. You don't. And people can't deal with it. This is what happens when you don't tell people the truth. Are you telling me that his teammates would be okay with what he just said, talking about, oh, the turnovers just I can miss shots. It's like, what? I can miss shots. I can have turnovers. I'm allowed to have turnovers. And I'm like, duh, you're allowed to have turnovers. Obviously, you're allowed to miss shots. Obviously, those things are part of the game, but so is losing. Losing is part of the game too. So I guess it's okay to lose too. Because, well, after all, it's a part of the game. It's no big deal. We lost, so what? Losing is part of sports. Who cares if we lost? Let's just move on to the next one. It's no big deal. And I'm sure there's some people out there, as always, there always is, there's going to be some people out there that are going to try to intellectualize this nonsense. You're always going to you know how they always say every village has an idiot? Well, now, these days, every village has at least 2 or 3 idiots. There's always somebody that's going to hear some nonsense and try to make sense out of it. I can almost guarantee you there are going to be people in the comment section talk, well, you don't understand what he really meant. You don't get what he really meant. What he's really trying to say is, or lay off for us. That's what's coming. There's always going to be these people out there. These are the people that he's speaking to. These are the people that he's speaking to. And now and this is the reason why I say you have to win in spite of Russell Westbrook. Every great NBA player that I've ever followed, talking about great, top tier, top of the shelf, they've always been bothered when they have games that have turnover, when they turn over the ball in various games that they compete in. They're always bothered by it. I want you guys to take a quick listen to what Kobe Bryant and LeBron James had to say about the negative impact turnovers have on games and why they don't like to have turnovers. Before we go too far, take a quick listen to what they had to say. Take a listen to that.
What happened in the stretch at the end of the first when the Mavs cut your lead?
Turnovers, we turned the ball over. got him in transition. And, against his team like Dallas, that'll really hurt you. They do a great job pulling up in transition for those threes, and offensive rebounds hurt us as well.
I had 2 turnovers where I felt like they were just really bad. My first turnover, I saw something happening, and Marcus did a good job. Marcus Morris did a great job of reading it, threw it up ahead to Kev. He picked it off. My second turnover, I went baseline, lost my footing on Marcus Morris, another turnover. A couple of them, one in transition to Jeff Green, I thought I put it on his hands, and he kind of fumbled it. Wish I could have that one back. I maybe bounced past that one. Had a backdoor one to Swish. It hit his hands. I maybe should have not thrown that one. It was a little bit in traffic. Al Horford was right there, but it hit Swish's hands. But maybe should have took that one back. I had a post up on Terry Rozier. They came in Peyton from the bottom side, and that means Peyton means they double from the baseline. Sorry, guys. And Jason Tatum got his hands on him. I had a guy wide open. I should have faked high and threw a low. And my last turnover was just very, very careless on Terry Rozier. We had a pick and roll. I got the switch, and I just lost it out of bounds on the other side of their, away from their basket. So that's my 6 turnovers. I think out of those 6, maybe 3 of them was just careless. I think the other 3 were attack turnovers. And
Now, what do Kobe and LeBron have in common? They're champions. They're finals MVPs. They're winners. That's what those 2 guys have. What does Russell Westbrook have in common with them? Nothing. What does he have in common with them? Nothing. You can clearly see the difference between their line of thinking and his. They see the issue. Kobe talking about how he can hurt you in a game. LeBron said, I should have had this. This is turn. This is careless. Russell Westbrook, he has no such ability to critically analyze himself. He saw no issue with it. He's like, oh, well, it's part of the game. And this is the guy people are talking about. You're supposed to be winning the NBA. How? And if he's not turning over the ball, he's missing layups and dunks. Like, how can it be possible that this guy can be this bad and this out of touch? And some people thought that getting him would be a good idea. I'm done. Catch you guys on the next episode. Have a great day. Peace.